and welcome back to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica, here to share some light on your messages from your goddess or goddesses, and to see what messages that can bring some light into your life. Ropes is here with me today, and he is decided to be out and sociable, so he is joining me and holding the space for this reading. I've had some comments, of course, about that sweet kid back there, and he usually is hiding in my closet. He loves my closet. It's all that goddess energy, beautiful things I feel. And or he's in my bed. So anyway, he is joining us today, so I'm very happy about that. We'll see if he stays with us or if he moves on. But let's see what goddesses are joining us and see what messages are going to come through. If you are new, welcome. If you are joining me back, of course, thank you so much again for coming and tuning in and joining me as a collective for all this beautiful energy. So there's a couple that I keep feeling them. So we'll see what they are. Oh, that's it right there. I'm feeling it. Top, the past, and the bottom. And then Kali, liberation. I love that. It couldn't be more perfect because usually the past has a lot to say, and we usually have to tap into healing in order to go into liberation. So we're going to see how tarot is going to clarify this story and this energy for you. Again, I always say that take what resides and then leave the rest for another day, or just leave it. It may not be for you. So let's see what messages are coming through, what story, what theme is for today. Right there. We've got Temperance. And some water energy there. That one for sure. We've got the Devil energy. So some Capricorn is showing up here. So you might be a Capricorn or you might be dealing with one. Alright, we've got the Queen of Wands. Beautiful fire energy. Whoop, right there. And the one on the bottom. Yes, oh my goodness. We've got King of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. Very nurturing energy. So there's a lot of love coming through there and some Tower moments. I'm almost feeling like this is something that maybe someone has been dealing with in the past. Maybe a addiction issue or someone that has an addiction issue. Let's see, yeah, Four of Cups, Knight of Wands, and then we've got the Chariot. So with whatever has happened here, I feel like that I'm tapping, and of course the Emperor's right here, so we're putting that Strength and Four of Pentacles. So there are no accidents. I'm already picking up that there was something perhaps in the past that kept you feeling very imprisoned, very trapped. The Tower moment definitely was in your future or is in your future. With this Devil energy here, I feel like that is pretty prominent as far as the obstacle that is in the way. I'm feeling that it is addiction of some sort. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be even a relationship of codependence. So, but there is liberation in this because the Chariot is here. So it's success to get out of that. And of course with Kali and Mnemosyne, some of these names, they kill me, but they're absolutely beautiful. They're just me with the ability to pronounce them. So I need to tap into my Saraswati goddess for language and articulation. And so that is also for you if you ever find yourself with having a lack of being able to speak. Call upon her. She will assist you. And so I call upon her now to assist me in delivering this message with clarity And I'm seeing that with Temperance here, this is a reminder of that you've got this, that you are powering through. I do see that either someone who is dealing with this now, the Tower moment is coming. It's that moment when you fully liberate yourself, and that is tapping into our Kali energy. She is absolutely warrioress and ability to find your inner strength. So for with these two, you've got this. And if it is your own addiction, it's very interesting. Addiction has had I was in relationship with someone with a severe addiction, and addiction is it can be towards a substance, but usually it is, for the research that I've done, it is an escape. It is something that they have not healed within themselves either. And if it is not yours, it isn't yours to heal or fix. It is theirs. And my advice is that you must find the strength within to fill your own cup, because someone who is in addiction is incapable of that at this time. And the Queen of Wands here, it's such knowing energy. It's fire energy. It's creating sometimes that spark for what you must do, and grounding in the King of Swords. Now he is absolute, knowing what he must, where he must go, the vision that he has for his life. And the Knight of Wands is bringing this in. It is coming, no matter, because toxic things, and then when we go to our heart and our desire is what moves the universe to conspire with us, our true desire. And so yes, this may be coming for you, or already has, that Tower moment where everything feels that there has to be change. And if it's going to rehab, if it's getting therapy, if it is doing something different, if it's healing, books, there's so much out there anymore. I know that I have had friends who left the country for other types of unconventional types of therapy, and there's things out there that can assist us. But remember, if it is not yours, you can only hold the space, and to really be that loving and compassion. But remember, we must allow someone else to have their journey. So if this is someone else that you love in their life, hold the space of love. There's been a couple of TED Talks that I have viewed on this, and our world here in the Western world has a very, just leave someone in the dust. And sometimes we have to do that for our own safety and our own well-being. But usually those people also need love. They need to know that they're loved. And that's something that they don't find in themselves. And so they seek addictions. And sometimes I'm seeing with this Four of Pentacles, we hold on to, and we kind of hoard that when we're not getting what we want. And for good reason. There can be for protection, many things. This could be something that with this goddess, she is saying that there's something in the past. So sometimes we must look back, or we've had our addictions. We've had things that we've moved from. And so we can feel very trapped by all this energy, just a complete slave to addictions. And it's nothing to be taken lightly, but there's definitely, we don't do these things without their lack of self-love. In fact, when I left that relationship that was filled with addiction, I also had to look at myself and go, what am I addicted to? Thinking that I can save, rescue, that was my addiction. So when we have someone in our life that is facing that and it's not us, we also have to look at to see how we facilitate it, what our contribution is into it. And that can be a hard look in the mirror. And we do have to save ourselves. So we can still love someone and hold space for it and then say goodbye. This isn't my journey, this isn't mine, and move on. And we do liberate ourselves with all of this knowing. This is a heavy energy here. The Emperor is that strength. I see that is huge father energy, masculine energy, to have that knowing, that strength within to carry on with this idea of moving forward. With this stuckness, we have the Four of Cups here. So there's a lot of stuck in the energy of making choice. Sometimes we don't feel like we can make a move yet. And so I want to do one other thing. I'm having a lot of butterfly energy lately as far as transformation. And when we transform out of these either types of relationships or behaviors, we are very much that butterfly in that chrysalis. We have to come undone and kind of form into goo before we can rebuild. And everyone has the possibility to do it. It's up to us or to someone else to actually choose it. And so we're going to tap into those energies, but I'm going to pull a butterfly card just for a little bit of, right there, memories. So I'm feeling with this, that, and with the past, that we could, in a lot of ways, have something tied or an attachment to the memories of maybe how things once were. If someone has chosen into addiction in a way of being that doesn't work, sometimes we hold people to the past of who they showed up as originally, and then we hold on to all the beautiful memories that we hope that they'll return, and they just don't, and it gets worse. And that's where we get to let go of our addiction to the attachment of the past. So I'm seeing that there is memories that could be so lovely that that is our addiction, and we're not holding the person to how and who they show up as in this moment. We see their light, and usually empaths are very we get a lot of narcissism or narcissistic traits with people, or addictive traits that show up because we see their light. And when I was going through mine, again, going back of what I started to say, that I had a coach that I was going through, and she assisted me in looking at it. So she said, he's an alcoholic. How is he to love you any more than he loves himself? And alcoholism or drug addiction is self-abuse. And that person can only love you to the degree that they love themselves. And that was a huge wake-up call for me, that I had to make choices. And was that love enough for what I really desired and know that I was supposed to have? I was in complete conflict because I knew that I wasn't where I needed to be, wasn't where I wasn't supposed to be. And I had to be very, it felt some way like to be able to look at that person and say, yeah, your love, what you offer me isn't enough. I felt bad about that in some way. And it, of course, this was the past, and I've grown so much from that. But to also honor yourself and say, yeah, what you have to offer is not enough. It is not, does not sparkle back the same with which I have the capability of loving, and that I love you. And it just doesn't work. And you're not my person. And that is huge. And it was a big step for me because I launched into my own self-love, and I freed myself of that addiction as well, to love someone that could not love me back. And that came from root childhood experiences of love that I didn't get as a child. With neglect, I associated a lot of those toxic patterns of being love, because that's how I was raised. And so I had to really look at my definition of what love is and how it was warped. And when you're in that inner conflict of knowing you are not where you are supposed to be, that this is not love, you must move with that, as hard as it is. And yeah, I created the tower moment of ending the relationship. And in doing so, I arrived eventually in my chariot of having the love that sparkled back, the respect, the honor. And I'm very grateful for that experience, because in the showing me of what love wasn't, I now know what love is. And there is nothing more beautiful than that. But I had to let go of memories, the past, because it was a big relationship. It was the biggest relationship as far as a whirlwind I had ever experienced. It was way over the top, rightly so, because there was things in there that weren't quite right, but they had to manifest over time. And then I just held on to the past. And the past is such a great teacher. It teaches us with everything, even in our DNA. I mentioned this before. We have the past completely enmeshed in us, from past lives to everything of the knowledge within us to make change. And the message I'm also hearing here is to be very compassionate to yourself. The goddess is here with Kali and Namon Sanine. I think I said it right. They are all here with such compassion and love for you, that you've got this, because you do, and this is a part of your journey, and you've got the strength. And I know that I had so many friends show up for me in these moments. I had a lot of judgments for myself that I couldn't believe that I got in that situation, and accepted that. And I had to free myself of that own judgment, because I went from it and then encased myself in my own judgment and that imprisonment of that double energy, that I was even in the situation. That doesn't assist me or anyone. We have to move into loving ourselves in this moment, and in order to do so, I have to love every moment of my past in order to embrace me now, because that made me who I am in this moment. So as hard as it is for memories of the past, whether they're beautiful, whether they're ugly, I inspire you in some way to find and make peace with them, to honor them, because they are a collage of this beautiful life of yours that make you who you are today. And that is transformative. That is the butterfly effect, is that those wings of every experience moved you into this moment today. And so love, compassion. Let's read the guidebook to get further, and I'm going to read the memory book on that as well. That it truly does sum this up pretty well. 36, and then see what all the added information that we can glean off of that for whoever this is for. Even my past. Empowerment message. There are certain moments when your personal history that hold great treasure for you now. When you examine your memories, which are the domain of the Greek goddess Nimon Samin. She's just, yeah. Okay. Empowered wisdom is revealed. The lessons you find are like sacred talisman contained within your past, like fossils in amber. Right now, you can trust your instincts that if something brings to mind your past, it indeed has a kernel of the old in the new. This is an amazing opportunity to make informed choices and do things differently. This goddess has another powerful message for you. These are many choice points in your life where you have the power to make beautiful changes and become more creative, empowered, and alive. Yes, sometimes memories that live in the cells of your body will trigger palpable fear, but you can move beyond your past to discover new territories, and new visions of freedom will come to you. You won't see the past the same anymore. Discover new territories and new visions of freedom will come to you. You won't see the past the same anymore. As wisdom replaces numb acceptance, the memories will change because you've changed. The freedom is gaining by willingness and curiosity. Relationships become rich with potential, and all your natural choices will no longer fall into old patterns that are not serving you. The goddess Nimon Sanin wants you to experience this miracle. Our stories can hold us hostage to the past that no longer serve us. The goddess memories reminds you that running away from painful memories and pretending that wrongs haven't been committed does nothing to help you truly find meaning and purpose. Your alignment task is to stop and take inventory of the past and the stories that keep you tied to it and defined by it. She calls you to be rigorously honest about the areas in your life where you've been wounded, as well as where you may have wounded others. Dig deep to uncover your unconscious bias and triggers. Know that it may be a messy experience as you surrender to the truth that you can't control the outcome or other people's reactions when you are ready to make real shifts. The world is changing, and to be a part of its glorious unfolding, you are being invited to do this deep work. Miracles are waiting for you once you set yourself free and allow your memories of the past to lead you to truth. Transformation comes with a price. Leaving some of your old self behind, it isn't easy, but it is necessary to become the one you have been waiting for. Summon your courage. The goddess will help you. You will rise up from this mess. Only beauty and strength will remain. I love that. All right, and now Kali. And it's true. We don't want to not acknowledge our past. We don't want to just sweep it under and act like it didn't exist. There is a time in your life when you'll know when to tell your story and when not to tell your story. Not to relive it, to engage in the drama of it, to regurgitate it because you're going to relive it. There's a time for your message to be a useful teaching tool for someone else, but not for mucking in the drama of it or being a victim of it, but being the empowered goddess of it, and that your story is a teachable one. It is a moment in your life that has created that empowered platform for you to rise above the mud and be that lotus flower of your life. Okay, so keep that in mind. Empowerment message from Kali. You're being invited by the Hindu goddess of liberation and revolution, Kali, to address the aspects of your own shadow nature that have held you hostage to old ideas that no longer serve who you want to become. You can no longer define yourself by your victim, your story, and expect to succeed in your life. There's beauty and liberation that is deep, fierce, and courageous. It rises up from the willingness to break the chains of the past in order to transform into something new. You may be afraid to set boundaries with others, but the goddess Kali has come to lend you her daggers. For you must cut ties with familiar ideas about life and have determined your place in the world up until now. You have been holding back on shining in the world because you are afraid of the reprisal or judgment of others. This helps no one. You must step into life authentic and glowing. Refuse to allow the potential judgment of others to affect you. Every day, claim your power to liberate yourself from caring what others think. What you are asking for, the wisdom to live and contribute, to do no harm, and to serve for the highest good of all. None of this matters, even if you must tear down what has been built. Kali will help you whenever you need to be courageous, even when you are most afraid. Be fierce and be loving and be willing to learn. Life will respond in miraculous ways. The alignment message. When resentment and anger fester below the surface, the unprocessed emotions simmer until they boil over. It's easy to project anger, envy, and ancient inherited rage on others when we perceive as the source of our discontent. When something triggers these emotions, we can project onto strangers as well as the people closest to us. Nobody wins when so much pain is unleashed into the world. Take heart, for you are not alone. Now the rage and fury must have a place to be expressed, and you can use this energy to make something extraordinary and find a new way. The fierce liberation goddess Kali offers her daggers to help you cut the ties to stories you tell about your past once you have expressed and processed them. No matter what your conditions, your alignment task is to find a way to channel this rage, this anger, these feelings into creativity and make something of it, of yourselves, so you don't create destruction just because you can. Be willing to be teachable even if it feels uncomfortable. When you know more, you can do better. Be willing to take full accountability for the energy you bring into the world. Kali knows the fierce dark love that she brings. You will not always be comfortable, and the process of transformation requires rigorous self-honesty. You have what it takes now to make something meaningful and be someone you're proud of. And that is so beautiful, and I can't emphasize that more. In fact, when I see someone that is in traffic or something, and you can tell they just have so much rage in them, and I like to sometimes go into empathy, feeling like that person feels very out of control in their life, and my move in traffic or something perhaps brought that out. And a lot of times when I feel like I have to look at where I'm at and why I projected something, because what am I holding on to? So for those that haven't been perhaps enmeshed in a relationship that was with perhaps that addiction of alcohol or drug addiction, perhaps they were just in a codependent or an abusive relationship. Perhaps their addiction was to that. So what I'm saying, and what I felt the message when I was reading that, was that you broke through of it, or you were cheated on, or something happened in your life that you are replaying, and your addiction, your past, your tie is that this happened to you, and you haven't released that and let that go. So that to me was a message for those that are regurgitating their stories. Like I said, their liberation comes from letting go of their own imprisonment of that memory. So let's read memories and see what the all-knowing butterfly has for us. So let me find that one. I know that it takes time to get out of that mindset and the wounds of it, and especially when they're but our bodies don't know. If you're still talking about it years later like it just happened yesterday, there is something for you to heal. There is time for you to change your story of you are now a goddess, and that is something that was a battle, that was That was something that you got to overcome. So you are not the victim of it, but you are the emperor and the empress of it. You conquered it. You conquered that lesson. And so I inspire you to take on that story rather than you are the victim. So memories. This card guides you to reflect on happy memories as you look back on your life. Remember, the good times can elicit those joyful feelings and help you focus upon the love instead of the pain. If you are grieving the loss of a loved one, feeling glad for the time that you did spend together is especially helpful. Your guidance includes honoring these memories through a photo album or scrapbook, a memorial contribution or celebration, or by writing your memories in an autobiographical book or article. If you've experienced recurring challenging flashbacks, it may be time for you to work with a counselor who is specially trained in trauma therapy. This professional can help you shed the shadow of the past in a way that is healthy and promotes growth. Additional meetings could mean contacting someone from your past, creating a tribute to a passed over loved one, taking care of your mind through meditation and brain stimulating work, improving your focus and concentration through detoxing and good nutrition. And addiction is something, a drug can mean anything, absolutely anything. We can use food, we can use sugar, we can use, then there's people that use even working out or work. There's so many things that in life deserve balance. And so we can look at things in our life and see, what are we trying to escape from? What are we trying not to feel? What are we trying not to remember? Because that is also an addiction of avoiding how we truly feel about something and honoring it. Therapy is so important. I recommend everyone having someone in their back pocket that they can go to and speak with and get tools that can assist them out of it. There's PTSD therapies out there like EMDR that assist people to go back to traumatic experiences, either from their childhood or from relationships, and rewrite their stories in their brain so that they have the ability to be in life differently. So I highly recommend those tools. I'm so happy that you joined me today for this empowered message for you to rise and stand in your Kali power and your Menosamine power as well, to embrace your past, but perhaps in a different and a healthy way, and stand in your power that you have liberated yourself from that past. So again, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to tomorrow's message from the goddesses, and I am honored to be able to be that sounding board to be able to express that message and share with you. Thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow.